What's up, everybody? You know how we get down over here on this channel. We talk about the new bank scams, the new bank methods. We talk about everything that's going on returning against some money with the dark web, fraud, scams, and life in general. So today's video, we're gonna be talking about the bank methods. Yes, there's a lot of bank methods out there that's getting people hundreds of iPhones, getting people hundreds of $1,000s in loans, credit cards, lines of credit, getting people the bag, and a lot of people are starting to understand how this bank how this bank game really works. Because a lot of people not hasn't they hear about the bank game and the bank plays and all that, but they don't really know how the bank plays work and all that. So today's video we gonna be explaining all about the bank plays and all that, right? So when it comes to the bank plays and the bank methods, in order to get any type of loan, credit card, a line of credit, or get any type of LLC or anything, it has to be surrounded around identity. So like I told you guys before, Identicon on the dark web will build an LLC, well, not an LLC, will build basically an identity for a scammer or a fraudster who goes on there and pays for it, and they're not even that expensive. And a real CPN, not a pre-built CPN utilizing somebody's stolen identity. No, this is a real CPN with a number that has not been issued to anybody, so you're not that person won't be tampering with anybody's identity. So they find whoever is running this site, they're doing a good job at finding these numbers that have not been issued and connecting them and linking them and doing whatever that they're doing, try merging and all that. So basically, people are going on Identicon, this dark website. And it's basically like you type in the name, you type in the city, the state, you type in certain information, and it will generate this profile. Now, when it generates a profile, then you also have different levels that you can pay. You can pay for just the number. You can pay for the number for it to be trap merged and trade lines and things like that. But it's just all about what that person decides to put, because a lot of people already know what banks to go to would open up a bank account with a CPN and so on and so on. So people get these CPNs and they try merge them, they mature them, and then they open up LLCs. Now, once they open up these LLCs, these fake businesses, because it doesn't take that much to open up a business or start a business or get an LLC. Like the LLC is probably a couple $100, depending on $100, whatever, depending on where you are, and the EIN number is free. So now that the scammer or fraudster has this LLC and this EIN number under the CPN, now what they understand is what they do is they say, okay, because they want to go for the credit crash. It's basically a credit crash method, and people utilize the credit to do this. That's why a lot of people want to learn credit, because they're learning how to build credit up every time to be able to get higher limit loans, credit cards, and lines of credit to be able to do these methods. People doing it all the time. So they get these CPAs, they mature them, open bills and open up bank accounts and things like that. Then what they do is they um they open up the businesses, get the LLC, the EIN number, and then they start getting EIN only credit cards. Now, once they start getting these EIN number credit cards, and there's different places to get EIN number only debit cards, you could get cash advances off of debit cards, off these credit cards. Now, let me even rewind it back, because there's a lot of people that be like, man, I ain't even got no money. I ain't got no money to throw this and that. So a lot of times people do buy pre-built CPAs to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit in other people's names, because they need that push. They need that quick start. So people buy pre-built CPAs and open up fraudulent bank accounts and go basically open up accounts from like personal accounts from Visa signature cards, get it any type of loan that they can get, and then get that money so they can put it towards this CPA. So once they get the money from that play and they go on to the CPA play, now they got funds and money, because they understand that on the business side, you can always borrow against your own money. So if you got $2,000 in your bank account, the bank will give you $2,000, and your $2,000 will be still in your bank account. You can borrow against your own money. So they run the play on the personal side, getting EIN number. I'm not but just getting utilizing the pre-built CPAs and getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit, getting a couple of dollars, couple $1,000. Now they utilize it, they will put that money towards the CPN. And this is what like the higher upper echelon people do now. Like not kids or nothing like that. Like the kids scammers and nothing like that. No, like the higher ups, they get like hundreds and thousands of dollars and understand like bigger plays get bigger money. These are things that these scammers and fraudsters are doing. So they're learning credit. Once they learn credit, they're buying stolen identities off the dark web, pre-built CPNs, getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit, getting a couple of dollars, a couple thousands of dollars, utilizing that towards the CPN, the pre-built CPN, with the business. So now they can get, because you can only get so much on personal side. You can't get funded so much money on the personal side because it's for basically personal loans is for emergency purposes. Business loans is for business purposes. And people know that in business, they know you need to spend money to make money. Personal is just for people who got emergencies. So when you use that money, it's showing that it's an emergency and that's a problem. And this is just all gems because a lot of people, it's a lot of different people in this world that don't know things or want to learn things and are actually trying to do a certain things that could possibly generate some type of revenue. And a lot of these things are just entertainment. People just want to be entertained and listen and just so it's just all about entertainment and being more cautious and being more aware because these are real things that's happening in real life and people can become victims of this. So it's a lot of business fraud going on. It's a lot of identity theft going on out here in the world. So they get these businesses, these fake LLCs with the businesses, then they go get the EIN number on the credit cards, run the credit up on the business, and then they start getting invoice loans because it's easy for somebody, a scammer or fraudster, to go on the internet and create invoices. You could create an invoice for 50,000 here, 50,000 here, 20,000 here, 5,000 here. They create all these miscellaneous invoices that equal up to an amount of money, and they can go to a factoring company and get either a factoring loan. I mean, a factoring. They can either sell the invoices or they can get a line of credit towards the invoices. So let's say they got $60,000 in invoices that they created. They go to this factoring company. This factoring company might get them 55, 54, and they might get them this whole $60,000 for that invoice. But if you get a line of credit, they're not buying the invoices because remind you, those invoices are fake, fraudulent. That nobody's really paying them out. You get a line of credit, they don't care about that because they're giving you a line of credit. And this is saying when they pay you, you pay us back. And that's is making it easier for people to get those. So you might got $1 million, you might got 500,000 in line of credit and invoices. You're gonna try to get that money. So what they're doing is they're getting all this money, this revenue from lines of credit cards and different plays, putting them in a bank account, taking that money and putting it in another account, another business account. So it's showing that all these businesses is generating money. So now they got more money and incomes coming in. Like a lot of people don't understand, like it's getting loans and stuff with businesses is not hard. Like, and since it's not hard, the scammers and the fraudsters are starting to do the exact same thing. And especially since you can do a lot of things on the computer. Like you can literally, everything can be done on the computer. You don't have to step outside. You don't have to go in the bank. You don't have to do anything nowadays. You can go on the dark web, go on the sites, whatever site, get a CPN, get an ID, get all the information that you need. Like I told you, Identicon has different things. Like I said, dark web search and not www. Blah blah blah. Identicon.com. No, they're long encrypted dark web, Bitcoin looking addresses with .onion at the end. And the only way that you can possibly go to the site is on the dark web. You can't post dark web sites on the clear net. They won't let you. They don't allow you. So just people like, bro, why you can't share the site? Because they don't let you. I'm not, no, they don't let you. I'm staying within the guidelines, following the rules. So Identicon, you can talk about the sites. Identicon on the dark web creates different CPNs, different levels, tri-merge, not tri-merge, just a number, all different type of stuff, bank account. And depending on which one they pick, they got the CPN. So then they start going to these different banks and just applying for different credit cards. And then they get the pre-built CPN, which is the stolen identity, and they figure out what's the credit score on that account. Because you got the social security numbers, you can find out what their credit score is. They find that out. They started going to these different banks, applying online, never going inside a bank. Everything is done from on the computer. utilizing VPNs and socks and proxies to hide their location and all that. Apply for loans, credit cards, lines of credit with these new banks because they got to open up a new bank to be able to change the address. Like to put a different address, they got to open up a new bank. They're not gonna go to the bank that the person already has. Like, and that's the problem. A lot of people try to use the banks that people already have and go into their account and change information. And banks can see when the information was changed. And if it was recently changed, it's gonna look suspicious. Vice versa, a scammer or fraudster using that information to go into a new bank, opening up a new account, utilizing this new information with this new address. Because they can easily say, yeah, that's my old address, but me and my wife recently got divorced or going through a separation and I have a new address and a new apartment or whatever. Easy like that, right? So getting loans can be all done, or credit cards can be all done over a computer. And that's what people are doing now in today's world. Everything is done over a computer, everything is done over tech. You can apply for loans, credit cards, lines of credit, open up bank accounts, everything over the computer, and it's making it easier for them, right? So bank loans, bank plays, utilizing businesses, LLCs, EIN numbers, and stolen identity. CPNs. CPNs, people get the CPN. See, a lot of people use CPNs for a lot of different reasons too. They might just want to, not put anything on there, and they just want to work off this one. So just in case something happens, it won't fall back on them, type thing like that, right? So CPNs, they go in there and get the CPN, they just, and that just, this Identicon also makes IDs. And like I told you, it's almost like whoever working on these sites or getting them, where they getting them from, almost it's like they so good it's almost coming from like the real DMV. Like it's that good. If it's not, it might just be, or they got the good software and the real printer that's making them. Because these you could buy the same printers that they're making, you printing these IDs up, you can buy these just like $5,000-$6,000, and people are buying these things because $5,000-$6,000, somebody making $20,000 a day, $5,000-$6,000 is not going to be that much. They're going to buy that and they're going to enhance their product and their company. And a lot of people do that on the dark web. So bank methods, oh yeah. So then the iPhones too. So CPN, they get a CPN, they open up the fraudulent businesses and they run the business credit up, and then they go get business lines of credit for phones and stuff, right? So you go into a T-Mobile or Verizon, you can get business lines of credit with these phones. You get 20, depending on the store, 10 phones, 20 phones, might get 50 phones, depending on what all you have going on, depending on what that credit score is built on that business. And building business credit, that's the thing too. You got to build business credit, your business credit score, and that's what they do with the funds from like the CPAs and the credit cards. Is all recycled money just going in the big circle to make more money. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, it's not like, it's a different world out there. Like, you got people out there that want to do like food scams and clothes scams and stuff like that, but you got people out there that's doing like multi-billion dollar, $1 million methods, just making them hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. They're not thinking about no food, they're not thinking about no clothes, they're thinking about the bag, millions of dollars. They're thinking about how to really get this chicken. And a lot of people don't really want that chicken. So it's just all about what that person's mind frame is, where their mind is, and understanding that the bank will give you money. They're like, well, come give it to me. So they figuring out, okay, how do people get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit? What all do they need? Okay, they need a good credit score. They need a good profile. They need debt to show that they can. They need all this stuff. Okay, so how do I do that? Oh, that's how you do it. So I'm gonna get the CPN and build the CPN. I'm gonna go buy this pre-built CPN and get the money, utilize this pre-built CPN to go towards the CPN to do different things. Like, you can't do too much on the pre-built CPN because it's somebody else's identity. And the fraudsters and scammers learn that, so they get their quick plays in before they report it and won't be able to utilize it anymore. So it's just a quick play to get some money to use towards the CPN. Once they get the CPN, they open up the fraudulent businesses, go get phones, get loans, credit cards, lines of credit. They basically credit crash this business out because it's not even a real person. It's a synthetic person that's connected to this business, and it's, you know what I'm saying. So these methods is getting wild. They're getting crazy. They're getting more enhanced. They're getting more sophisticated. They started generating a lot of new money, and this is why a lot of new people are starting trying to get into this dark world, this dark web, and it's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to be able to comprehend what's going on. It's a lot of people that can, but there's a lot of people that can't. And like I said, this is all educational purposes only, because at the end of the day, These are real things that are happening on a daily basis. People are victims on a daily basis. And if you don't know about something, you won't try to keep yourself protected from it. If you don't keep yourself protected from it, that's how you become a victim. So it's just all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware. Make sure y'all stay more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware, and continue to get to the bag. Y'all know how we get down over in this channel. Some main channels over on this channel. Some main channels on YouTube. But y'all decided to be here with me. I'll see y'all at the next method video. Peace.